third desire he has for us is to be a man of truth. A desire to be a man of truth. You see, when it comes to truth, when truth lands on your porch, you will either accept it or reject it. You will face it or you will flee it. In the body of Christ, as a follower of Christ, you will either be a deserter and reject that truth and move away from it, or you will embrace it and you will be a disciple. Sort of like when I came home from work the other day, and very rough day, just rough. Won't describe it, rough. Walked in, really exasperated, a lot of chaos going on in the home. And you guys know how it is. You work super hard, you come home, and, chaos in your professional life. You come home, and you want peace and order, and welcome home, honey, and dinner's on the table, and, how you doing? None of that. So, right to Jenna's room, because in Jenna's room, it's a very simple existence. It's not chaos, usually in there, Polly Pocket, Ariel, Snow White. Etch-a-Sketch. I can handle Etch-a-Sketch. So I'm doing a little art therapy in Jenna's room, decompressing from my day. I draw a circle on it, put a smile on it, my anti-feeling at the moment. And I said, Jenna, what's that? She goes, smiling face, Daddy. Great. Turn the smile upside down. Jenna, what's that? That's a sad face, Daddy. So I start, 0-2 pitch, curveball, flat eyes. Who's that? Sleepy face, Daddy. Draw big. Ooh, who's that? Surprise face. So I'm like, all right, let's pull out the split finger. And so I draw this face, and it has these beady eyes on it and this angry scowl. I said, Jenna, who's that? And she goes, you. I said, that's not me, that's your mother. So what do you do with that? Where do you go with that one? I act like a man and deny it and deflect it, run out of the room. But at night, talk with Chrissy about it. I said, this is a really funny one. Boy, I sat down with Jenna in the old room, made the face, and then, open kimono time with my wife, right? She says, Kenny, here's the deal. When you are, I said, how's it going at work? How's your day? Not so good. Well, here's what the family feels when you come home. You have disorder out there. You want order in the home. It's life. You're not going to get that. And then you become mean and kind of squash us and get short, and, that's what happens. So where do you go with that one? Well, I can face that. That's truth, by the way. It comes to my porch, and I can, change, try to develop a new plan. I do have a new plan, by the way, before you get home. Let me give you a little coaching tip here. I call it flaps down. So when I hit a certain corner, how like when you're flying into Orange County, you see the wings go down on the plane, and it's kind of slowing, because they have to land, right? So before you go home, flaps down. And that's flaps down time is at the corner of Plano, Trabuco Road, and Robinson Ranch Road. That's when I begin to pray. God, just help me to reintegrate from outer space back to earth. Help me to not be crabby, and to help my wife do the dishes if she's made dinner. And I just kind of decompress. But, I share that with you because God, because he loves us, will bring truth to you through an 8-year-old. He'll bring it to you through Kenton on Sundays. He'll bring it to you through a guy at your table who's telling his story, and you're going, that's me. And the truth is hitting your porch, and you got two choices. You can face the truth, work with it, integrate it, or you can deflect and deny and excuse and blame. Well, that's the way the spiritual life is. It was true when Jesus came into the world. Just look at this passage. I'll read it. John 3:19-21. You see both the facer and the fleer here. This is the crisis we're in. God light streamed into the world, but men and women everywhere ran for the darkness. They went for the darkness because they were really not interested in pleasing God. Everyone who makes a practice of doing evil, addicted to denial and illusion, hates truth and won't come near it, fearing a painful exposure. But, transition, anyone working and living in truth and reality welcomes God light so the work can be seen for the God work it is. You see, there's your two profiles. This is about Jesus coming into the world and how it was like light hitting the earth. And people saw the light, they saw the truth, and then they ran for the hills. But there's this other type of person. They ran to the light, not like the New Agers. They ran to Christ, who said, I am the light of the world. And they embraced him, and they started working with him and what he began to tell them. And the same is true for your spiritual journey. God will come into your life, and you'll accept the truth. You'll accept Jesus Christ into your life. You'll commit to follow him. Well, what does he do from that point on? Well, he just keeps bringing truth. You see, you can fill your heart with truth, or you can fill it with lies. And what you fill your heart with informs your character. And then your character is expressed in conduct, and conduct is expressed in choices that bring health to your relationships with God and people. So God's process is bringing truth to you, just like he did with me and Jenna, saying, you know what? You're kind of a Godzilla yourself, coming into the family. You need to do something about that. And then I need to work with that because God is molding. Now, that's a whole different ballgame than the way I used to act.